Wait a second, I think she's missing oh right, it's her arms. I'm Sailor Tortilla, and here are your Sailor Moon toy reviews, and sometimes there's news too. So this is an Egg Studio Sailor Mars figure. It's 1/5 scale. That is very, very humongous. Here's my dog for scale. He's very nosy and he likes to know what's going on in the house. So it's a resin figure. It's limited to 188 pieces. No idea how they got at that number, but we're just gonna toss this box over and get this thing open. So like I said, it's a resin figure. Sometimes they're very fragile. You have to make sure that all of your pieces, oh, there's her head. Hi, Rei. And she also brings a little note that says, be careful with your earrings when you take your hair. Is that just life advice? Anyway, lots of clear resin pieces in here. The fire is actually comprised of, I want to say, 3 or 4 giant pieces like this. So yeah, be very careful if you've got this. This should retail just under $400. It's about 30 centimeters tall. Oh no, I'm sorry, 47 centimeters tall. Let's celebrate how big this is. Okay, we're just gonna pull out her little talisman, because what this figure has is her little ofuda all over it. You'll see it on the stand. So the stand is crazy heavy. It's about 13 pounds, I want to say. And again, I just want to be very careful with all of this stuff. Taking a look at it now, you'll kind of see what we're feeling here. So it's got the bow, just like the Egg Studio Sailor Moon. There's a couple similarities. If you see any flashing there, that's just my ceiling fan. This has lights. We'll show how that looks later, but that's not the flashing. So as you can see, she has all her little charms floating around here. This is a very intricate figure. It has a lot of really cool accessories, and this hole here is the battery pack. It's kind of weird looking. It's definitely LED lights, but we'll take a look at that later. So in terms of the paint job and the sculpt, it's beautiful. She's got a big old booty just like the Egg Studio Sailor Moon. But in terms of coloring, any transfers, everything looks great to me. So far, so good. It's a deep red. It's got different finishes, like the uniform is a little less shiny. She's got these great shiny shoes. Really good stuff. I'm very happy with a lot of these unlicensed figures. They do really pay a lot of attention to quality control. Different price point though. This was a lot of money, and this should just kind of fit in there. I definitely took my time putting this in. There's nothing worse than breaking a really expensive figure. And turns out mine's number 4. No idea how that happened. It was actually really difficult to get my hands on this. And oh, it's a Torii gate. Yeah, that's a thing. They actually took a look at what Sailor Mars does in her everyday life and incorporated it into this figure, which I think is really cool. Now, getting this in, I don't remember any magnets on this, so I just wanted to make sure that it was secure and would stay. It even brings just 1 crow. So Sailor Mars, we know, has 2 raven guardians, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos is nowhere to be found, so we'll just deal with Deimos. Very cool, very detailed bird though. And it just kind of sits there. He's got skinny little legs, so it gives me a little bit of anxiety. But oh, look at you, Rei. You look like Goku in cosplay. There's something about the head shape I'm not happy with, but the face is cute. Her eyes are very different from the Egg Studio Sailor Moon. And her hair, see, I'm like rubbing off this little part here where it looks like either grease from my hands. It's very black. Sometimes her hair has a purple sheen with shading or color differences. They kind of just said, no, her hair is black. She's Japanese. It makes sense. And her earrings are also super pointy, super cute. Let's just get her creepy head on the figure. Sometimes it's hard to get these in, sometimes it's easy. I suggest just taking your time and make sure that you are not damaging anything. Yeah, this thing is huge. I feel like it's like a Power Ranger weapon. So this does connect magnetically to the stand. It's just nerve-wracking. Truly, truly nerve-wracking. Here's just another piece. There's even one that looks like a giant arrow. I never noticed it in the promotional images. So here's some of the fire, and she looks so cool already. I think this figure is stunning. Their Sailor Mercury also has a lot of this resin going on, so I'm really looking forward to that. And it's just magnets. It really is just held on with magnets. Be careful, don't have people touching this if you've got it. I love how it kind of swirls around her shoes, and I just need to figure out what goes here. And I think what goes there is actually the big arrow. You'll see it slightly off to the left. but lots of different connections for lots of different pieces. I don't suggest doing this quickly. Take your time. Here's the first time I tried it. No, it doesn't go that way. Here's the second time I tried it. Yeah, instructions are not a thing. They did not come here. No, Sailor Tortilla, don't put it like that. Move it back. You had the right idea. And once I had that figured out, I found yet even more fire that goes on this. Fortunately, some of these are a lot easier to put on than others. Then we've got the hefty arrow. I don't know why I look frustrated. I actually figured that one out really quick. So here are her arms. Again, no paint transfers from the red to the white. Her fingers look like, I don't know, human fingers. So I guess that's a plus. And again, snapping on with magnets. Love it. And this is when I realized I needed to put her little paper charm in her hand. Now, this is not a magnet. Her hand just legitimately holds that piece. And I just pray to the moon goddess that it will not fall out. So this is what the figure looks like. It's really gorgeous. It does almost have a swirl effect to the shape of the fire. So something I ask for a lot on Sailor Moon toys is movement, right? I want to see them do an attack. I want to see them move around. And this really is delivering on that promise. Despite the fact that her face is not my favorite, I think this is a great figure. You can see the moon in the background. They look beautiful together. And I think the next thing we've got to talk about are those LED lights. All of these details, by the way, are lost when I film in the dark. So we're just going to take a little time, admire it. Let me know what your favorite Sailor Mars moment was from the show. I appreciate her openness to talking about things she dislikes, i.e. Usagi not pulling her weight on the team, but we'll talk about that another day. My real burning frustration and question is, why does she have her brooch and charm on her choker from her super form, but everything else is regular? Kind of a big deal. I should probably know by now and have the experience that, yeah, unlicensed figures are going to have weird stuff like that. This lady takes regular old batteries. I feel like a lot of these things are just USB, but you just plug it in and kind of hope that your batteries aren't dead, because who the heck uses batteries? I bet you weren't ready for it to look this cool. So I'm not sure if there's any different colors inside of here. I think these are just white or yellow LED lights, but it looks like there's different colors inside the fire. I think it looks so cool with the fire on, and I wish it was USB powered. That's my only thing. But ooh, she got a huge booty. Yeah, the Egg Studio figures do have really giant butts, and I wonder if Mercury is gonna break that mold. Again, this is even with the lights on. It looks so cool. You see how there's like different colors inside of that fire? I guess that's what you get when you have resin in different colors. She looks amazing from the back, amazing from the front. And I think one of the best parts about this figure is that they did incorporate stuff from Rei's everyday life. She's got her crows, she's got her shrine gate, and I really have a lot of hope for the rest of this series. Again, love the swirl effect on the feet. I love everything about this. I shot it from a bunch of angles, so we're going to use that footage, and we're going to talk about our favorite episodes about Sailor Mars. Mine's from Sailor Moon S, and it's the one where Yuichiro thinks that Mars is seeing Haruka, and Haruka is cheating, but we all know how that went. You really can't beat the classic anime, because they gave everybody a love interest, something to do when they're not being a Sailor Senshi, and it was all around good anime goodness. With that, I do want to say that this was really hard for me to get my hands on. I'm not going to expand on that because it was really frustrating, but you know what? It was totally worth it. I think she's really cool. So I'm Sailor Tortilla, and if you want to know more about the best Sailor Moon collectibles out there, follow me here. I'm also on TikTok, and Instagram's where I share the latest news in my stories.